So, ladies, I title this devotion Expediency. And this is similar to some of the other devotions that I've done in the past. But it occurs to me that the older I get, the more aware I've become of this tendency in myself. And to give you a better understanding of what I'm referring to, let me give you, I guess, a more thorough description here. Expediency, at least the common definition of it, is a way in dealing with people or situations that is more or less efficient. And often, as far as I can see, the expedient way of dealing with people isn't always the biblical way of dealing with people. And I think, as is fairly common, we can often justify an expedient type of action or decision made towards other people as being efficient or as being, good stewardship of our time and resources. When in fact, before the Lord, that may not really be a truly good stewardship of our time and our resources. I'm reminded of 1 Corinthians 6:7, and this is where Paul is dealing with fellow believers, because that's really who he's speaking to, who are, suing one another and bringing one another to court and all of that. And finally, I think in exasperation, Paul, the father of the gospel, throws up his arms. And he says, well, why don't you just be wronged? I mean, enough of all of this, enough of trying to get justice and enough of trying to operate in an expedient fashion with your disobedient neighbor. Just be wronged. And I think what Paul was doing here was saying, apply the gospel, right, which is justification by grace through faith. That's at the heart of it, in a practical fashion, both in your own lives and in the way you deal with people around you. So I think true expediency, not the way we want to define it, which often justifies our own insensitivity and mean-spiritedness before us, is really inconveniencing ourselves and maybe making harder decisions that are far more difficult for us to resolve. I mean, maybe that means that our businesses aren't as secure as we want them to be. Maybe it means that our churches aren't as secure as we want them to be. But that's the gospel. That's what it's all about. And that's the harder road. It's not the expedient road. It's the gospel road. Well, this isn't the most eloquent devotion that I've ever done, but I think it's probably one of the more truthful and practical ones, strangely enough, that I've done. God bless you both.